Our lives are full of daily activities where we can enjoy learning, playing, working, spending time with our loved ones, or just relaxing. But for some of us, bleeding disorders such as hemophilia can disrupt the activities that we enjoy. Hemophilia affects about 3,000 people in Texas, and about 250,000 are affected by von Willebrand's disease. So how can we work together to positively impact those affected? The Lone Star chapter of the National Hemophilia Foundation was founded in 1969 to serve patients in South Texas with bleeding disorders. It is our mission to educate, empower, and advocate. We connect families so they know they are not alone. When you or someone you love is diagnosed with a bleeding disorder, it can feel as if your world has been turned upside down. I know from experience as a mom with a child with hemophilia how scary it is to hear words like infusions, inhibitors, and joint bleeds. The Lone Star chapter is here for families every step of the way to help them take control of their bleeding disorder and not let it control them.
Hemophilia is an inherited bleeding disorder where there is a deficiency of a protein or a clotting factor. Other bleeding disorders that are as well seen in the hemophilia treatment centers include von Willebrand disease and deficiencies of other different coagulation factors. The characteristics of a patient with severe hemophilia, it's going to be mostly bleeding into the joints, but they could have bleeding into their muscles, their skin, and any other organ. The Hemophilia Treatment Center has a very strong collaboration with the Lone Star chapter, where we provide what is called a multidisciplinary management. When patients come to their first visit, they get seen by the different specialties that include the nurses, social workers, physical therapists, genetic counselor, the physicians, orthopedic surgeon, or any other specialty that is needed. Education plays a critical role. It actually gives information to the patients and the families how to prevent bleeds, how to do prophylaxis, how to be prepared to do a sport or certain activities. Education is very important, not only for the individuals that have the bleeding disorders and their families, but also for the general population, so they can understand the complexity of this disorder, and also for providing collaboration and support in research in the advancement of technology.
Hemophilia and von Willebrand's disease affects men and women regardless of their age or background. Sometimes there's a family history of a bleeding disorder, and other times it can be a spontaneous mutation, which is our case. We have a spontaneous mutation with our son. We found out when he was 9 months old. In that situation, there's no one that you know that has had a bleeding disorder, so you feel completely helpless. And that's why the chapter is so important to us, because it connected us with other people that had what we were dealing with. We have met so many invaluable people through the chapter, we can't even imagine our life without them. The Lone Star chapter provides educational opportunities and camp for the kids, where they learn to infuse themselves and meet other kids that are just like them. Our favorite event of the year is the Hemophilia Walk. That's the time of year when our family attends the walk with all of our friends and all of our extended family, and our little family feels like superstars with everybody coming out to support us. The Lone Star chapter empowers families like ours to not let a bleeding disorder define who we are.
If you belong to the bleeding disorders community, you belong to a very special group of people, one who has faced formidable challenges. We have overcome those challenges by coming together and fighting together. The Lone Star chapter of the National Hemophilia Foundation is a part of the Texas Bleeding Disorder Coalition, working to serve the needs of our community in issues ranging from access to our hemophilia treatment center to access to our clotting factor. Our advocacy work produces and will continue to produce results like the Hemophilia Assistance Program, which is a bill that we helped pass in the Texas legislature. What we do together has results. Make a financial contribution. Participate in the Red Tie Challenge. Participate in our Washington Days and in our Austin Days. Talk to your representatives. Your voice has value, but only if you use it. Our chapter will help you learn how to become an advocate. Come and advocate with us for our children and for you. for a better tomorrow.
Through education, empowerment, and advocacy, let's work together to improve the lives of all those affected by bleeding disorders.
Thank you, Lone Star Chapter.